And welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dudley Boys of WhatCulture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show, formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a bigger quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by the two grumpy blokes from the Muppets to review last night's episode of NXT. What did you make of it?
Well, I was gonna put over you for your intro as usual, removing my dread about talking about the show, but then you were a total. So. No, I'm going to sort of live down to the characteristic you've placed upon us there by burying most of this because...
Drab crepe.
Thoroughly depressing time, this NXT. Rubbish. Just rubbish. More of the division is in the bin. The show is in the bin than I think we've ever had since the 2.0 era began.
This was, dismal. Capital Wrestling Center drabness, except without technically proficient work.
Disagree. 3 great title matches, all the right results, and some thrilling developments with regard to storylines. Yes.
No. Disagree.
Subjective, I suppose. But we'll get into it.
That's conversation.
We started with Corey Graves back in NXT. I'm right where I want to be, he says. Where passion is everything.
On Netflix, mate.
Where passion is everything, only the hungry survive, and pro wrestling never stopped being cool.
What did he say after that?
I can't remember.
Light the fuse.
Light the fuse.
Oh, he did say that. I forgot. Yeah, sorry.
And then he's got his eyebrow work is so awful. You look at Corey Graves and think that bone structure, handsome dude, but there's something icky. And he lets those eyebrows fly around. You think, oh my God.
Still like James Keenan.
God, he's like... I just hate those eyebrows, man. It's like, you ever seen... did you get around to watching Jumanji, any of you?
No, not yet.
The Rock's Jumanji. Like, there's this bit where he does like a smolder, and it's like a running joke in the film, and that's what Corey Graves tries to do with his face. He's always looking like he's trying to do a smolder. I hate that. It's like, Jesus, you just look like a... You know what I mean? Just, it's like, oh, God. Are you posing for?
Yeah. But we get straight into it with the North American title, Tony D versus Ridge Holland. Back and forth. Scrap to start us off.
Shut up, man.
Sean Spears comes down.
Oh, God. Can we just start, take a breather? So you got an incredibly dull, almost impressively dull match unfolding, and then Mr. Spears comes out, and he's got this really cool little pose now. Do you notice this?
Yeah.
So he doesn't... What do you call that?
Well, it's not quite arms folded, is it? Yeah.
It's arms like... He does this thing where his arms are like that. Like, what's he trying to convey with this? What does he think he's doing?
Sinister.
It's a Bebeto celebration, isn't
Thorpe, it is Bebeto, yeah. It's like, yeah, he's cradling nothing. He's cradling his dark thoughts and master plan.
Yes, that's what he's doing. He's cradling his dark thoughts and master plan.
And he Spears.
Yeah. What's that got to do? What's British?
Just when he said Mr. Spears.
All right.
That's all I could sit with. Holding a sneeze before I said it.
Push me, baby, just one more time. Sean, it's been 20 years.
Hit me, baby, 10 more times.
It's been 20 years.
Gavin Spears.
Jesus Christ.
I say it distracts Tony D, but he knocks Ridge out to the floor to take us to a break. When we come back, we find out that the Dan has been posted, though.
I mean, just when you think it couldn't get any more boring, Sean Spears comes out.
Ridge smacks his arm against the ring post, targets the arm. D'Angelo makes a comeback, though. Nice Fisherman's Buster suplex in there.
Like the float over. The one little good thing about this terrible match.
He's great in ring. Spine Buster countered by Ridge. They trade some blows. Ridge hits a pump kick and a half suplex for a 2 count. But the Don fires back with a spear when Ridge looks like he's going to finish him off. Spears jumps up on the apron, though. Tony knocks him down. Here comes Brooks and the wild card, Niko Vance, to brawl with the family. Ridge sets Tony up for the Destroyer, but then Izzy Dane comes in out of nowhere as the referee's distracted with the teams fighting on the outside.
Tennis elbows playing up again, you know.
Nails
really,
Ridge.
It kills.
Nails Ridge with a boot to the face, and Tony hits him with a big spine buster and gets the 1-2-3 as Dame leaves and says that her and the Dan are now even.
We've watched enough WWE training footage or performance center behind the scenes things, documentaries and the like, to know that if you've got nothing else out there, WWE then now forever together will just love a bump and feed.
Oh my God, I was going to point this out.
Bit of snap, right?
Oh
whether or
my
not it's
God,
a hot tag, whether or not it's a babyface comeback, whatever it is, you got to have, that may as well be day one in the performance center, even if you've never taken a bump in your life, they're going to teach you a bump and feed at the same time.
It will be.
Because to them it is everything. And I get it. And the best ones are still the best. There's not feeling like it sometimes when you're seeing a comeback and it's just I get it. I get why it's such a fundamental to them. I do. Where the hell was it here? Because I'm seeing it out with Tony D lately, and the one match where he probably needed it more than ever against a Ridge Holland with this whole sludgy thing that feels like it's not wrestled, it's being fought in treacle. It's I've seen a bit of snap from Tony D. He's quick on his heels, and he needs it here more than ever. He's been doing it against Oba Femi because you can do the thing I'm big, but he's even bigger, so I get to reduce myself and be that. It's almost fun to see that. It just wasn't there.
Ridge Holland.
And Ridge has got none.
Up and down.
Down he goes.
And down.
You've got to bounce back up for the next punch and bounce back up for the next punch. And if the guy's taking a while doing that, then Tony D's got to move more to fill those valuable priceless seconds while the other guy's getting himself. Neither had either. This was so drab to look at. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to mark ecstatic that Tony D retained. That's all I care about, mate. I don't care about the wrestling.
Investment
I'm not bothered about that.
Investment is important.
Who cares? Get that all the time. Just give me Tony D with a title.
I'm trying to be a really fair marker with Tony D because I was pretty critical of him.
You were
for a long time, and I've seen flashes where there might be something there, and I even kind of want to see the gimmick on the main roster, even if it has to die there. I kind of just imagine the family on Raw on Netflix. I want to. Oh my God. So I'm thinking, well, if just the matches can get even a little bit there, why not? We got a ball game.
Ridge on the main roster.
This was turgid.
This was so turgid. That stuck out to me. I was going to lead with this bumping and feeding from Ridge Holland was so poor. Very poor. They say about his wrestling laugh, it's got its ups and downs. Not me, but, the actual laugh. He just took an eternity to get up, and then... there's a bit of brawling at the start, and he slaps on the old chin lock, and I'm thinking, oh my, this is a parody of a boring match. And I just will never... good body. How can they be so dumb to think, well, we've got our next main eventer on our hands, and it's Ridge Bloody Holland. I just want to take Shawn Michaels, just grab him by the ears. You think it's going to be a main event wrestler in Ridge Holland? There's not going to be a main event wrestler, you stupid slut. There's not even going to be a wrestler. I'm obsessed with that at the minute. As you can tell, that I've tried to shoehorn it in. There's not going to be a swimming pool, you stupid slut. There's not even going to be a house.
So following on from this, we go to the back.
It's a great meme.
Yeah.
Wes Lee walks up to Dion Lennox. He's got Tyson and Tyreek flanking him. Saying, you think you can beat Oba Femi? I've got potential, but you don't. And he says, see you out there later. And then Trick Williams walks in and he's like, afternoon. Takes a piss out of him, basically, for being away and tucking his tail between his legs since he lost the title. Trick just bitch slaps him before leaving.
Bit of office law. Anytime someone is even vaguely late, we are all so funny that we go, afternoon.
Yeah. I don't like anyone in this scene pretty much anymore. I think the Wes Lee turn was a huge mistake. We've talked at length, and part of this is Ridge Holland's fault about how far...
Don't forget Ethan Page.
Trick Williams has fallen. Yeah, Ethan Page had a bit to do with it as well.
And then Trick Williams himself.
Opener
And Shawn Michaels for being a moron of a booker.
Opener put me in a bad mood, right? If this is so situational, my feeling on a segment like this, if the opener was class or there'd been a really funny segment or some nonsense, I'd been like, yes, more Backstage, complete shit. I love it. But when it's put me in a bad, it's the total opposite. I was like, this is bad panto, all of it.
It's a terrible. I've been telling you for years. It's a terrible TV program. It used to have its stupid charm in a universe that we built around it. Those days are dead, and it's about time you came to terms with it, Adam.
Disagree completely. But one of your favourites was up next. Bayley comes out, talks about this being her home and why she talked to Roxanne last week because she cares about her in the division. But all he got was a slap in the face. Roxy's acting like Punk and Natty, but that's a compliment because Natty gave back. I didn't come back because I felt like NXT owes me anything. I came
Natalia
back.
give to you?
Not good matches. Wasted hours of my life. She came back to get rid of entitled idiots like Roxanne Perez. But it may be too...
Hours. She gets like 10 minutes at a time if she's lucky. Hours. That's how many...
It accumulates. It's been there 20 years.
Couple of rumbles as well.
Probably doing like those 52-minute...
Yeah. 0 elimination runs.
Yeah. Zero memories.
But it might be too late because not only did it get her slapped in the face, Roxanne obviously shows up on SmackDown talking trash and tries to put hands on her on Raw, etc. Doesn't prove she's ready for Raw or SmackDown. Doesn't prove she's ready to be a leader in the youngest locker room.
The longest
locker room in WWE right now.
Don't know what that means.
Talks about cardio.
Talks about how people like Jaida and Lola are looking for opportunities with Julia as champion. This brings out the champion, Julia, who says, coming from Japan, seeing Bayley, she wants to be in NXT. Roxy may not look up to her, but Julia does. And she hopes to hold the title with as much love and honour for NXT as Bayley did. Bayley says, look, that means a lot. I've got a lot of respect for you. Happy to see you beat Roxanne. You're going to make historic moments of your own. That title changed the landscape of the women in WWE. Speaking of which, that brings out Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade to deafening boos. Perez says it's boring. She's surprised Bayley showing her face after back-to-back losses. She needs to drop the act if she cared about the future. She wouldn't have laid hands on Roxanne Perez. She says to Cora, can you believe she was a role model? Cora talks about, over the booze, just about how role models build this place up, whilst people like Bayley just choose to leave. Julia should hand the title back to Roxy because no one cares about it like her. They've been holding this place together since day one. Everyone gets told to shut up by Roxanne Perez. They just get louder. She says, I won't take anything away from Bayley's accomplishments, then runs them down. But thank you for your service, but you're no longer needed. Bye-bye! She knows what Bayley's doing. She's been looking at the title. She wants to be the number one woman in the number one division because she knows they've all surpassed the 4 horsewomen era. And that's it. Bayley and Julia snap, and there's a brawl between Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. Cora escapes the Bayley's belly. Roxanne bails before Julia can properly get hands on her. And Bayley and Julia are left standing tall in the ring. A new team.
And it's worth pointing out, obviously, not to step on your dick, after the next segment, which results in another brawl, we cut back to the ring and then the brawl has resumed again.
Yes.
To illustrate that like this division is extremely competitive and all that, which I think is important to note because I liked and bought all of this. Highlight of the show, realistically, for me, this. The Roxanne Perez Bayley stuff is impressing me. Like, early signs are good for the match. Like seeing them brawl. Believe enough of the heat, even though we know who Bayley really is here. Like, it's the best possible way to transition Roxanne Perez away from NXT, and especially the NXT title, because she's not getting another shot at Julia. They've got themselves a pretty cool match to promote for next week with the brawl that did a good job of setting it up. And just in terms of, it was a bit recappy on both sides.
Yeah.
It is wrestling.
Yeah. Baby faces and heels. But when it came to like the individual motivations of why they want to fight, I did actually buy it. I thought Julia like hung in there, which is still not that she's being tested or anything, but you know, we were documenting the ropey start, and it's like she's a champion now. They're not lying. Like, I've said this for years, and that belt actually does have one of the richer legacies in WWE, and people that get it and people that get like longer runs with it are expected to hold up the division and hold up what that all means. So yeah, this was a bit of me. This like the tag match next week doesn't have stakes particularly, but I am looking forward to seeing it Cora Jade is
Not
out
good.
of her depth in ring wise, but like, how does she get on with those three? I'm into it.
I will say that the whiplash of like this audience investment between the men's opening segment and this women's title picture and the amount of permutations that are not interesting was, it was total whiplash. Absolute whiplash in terms of how much people cared and how much people didn't. Sean has messed up this men's division. You agree, or?
Tony D and Oba Femi are
Okay,
champions,
okay.
so I have to disagree with you on that one,
Okay,
mate.
well, Oba Femi didn't have the best night, but we'll get to him.
Did he
later.
leave as champion or? Oh.
It's real.
That's
I'm
his
checking
new-
the
that's
records,
his
and it's
new
another,
shift.
another dub.
Good.
So,
Good.
3 points for Oba Femi.
Good shift.
When you're playing poorly, that's sign of champions, people say.
Good bit. So they've done an all right job here of baby facing Julia further, setting up. There's at least 4 different matches, so that's not bad. Roxanne Perez, and I've said this before, when they give me so little new to talk about of interest, I'll have to say it again. In terms of cadence, word choice, delivery, everything, it's just Alexa Bliss. It's just every
With more Stumbo Bumbo.
more stumble bumble. Just every modern WWE women's division heel. I just kind of deal with it.
As you mentioned, we cut back to this and then brawling and being held apart by officials. In amongst this, though, we cut back to the women's locker room. Jaida Parker's happy getting a mention from Bayley. So as is Kalani Jordan. They get into it. The women start arguing in the locker room. But Karmen
What
says...
are they bloody like?
Karmen says, shut up, it doesn't matter.
Me.
Because love is in the air, gents. Quite rightly. They all just row, basically.
It's insulting, as always, this scripting and the way that this is all. It's that same locker room shot where there's always 4 like talking props as like the 3 come to the foreground, and it's the same every week. But more's the pity that they can't script one of these segments or make it look remotely real feeling, because this was illustrative of this division in pretty decent health and a bunch of talent. It is, the contrast is, you're probably right there, Sid. It's not just
I'm
that
definitely right.
It's not just that the men's stuff stinks at the moment. It's that like increasingly their own force-fed narrative about the women's division is sort of true.
Yeah.
It's not just 1 or 2 like good wrestlers or good hands. There's several decent challenges in a number of different matches versus Nout City Jones in the men's singles.
Well, as if to exemplify this, Wes Lee versus Dion Lennox was next. Brief match. Dion did get some offense in, chucking Wes Lee around the ground after he jumped him basically at the start.
It's a nice little, you got him in the air. I don't know, 10 feet in the air at one point, Wesley. I went, what? So I did. I went,
Gets a kick in the corner as Wes, but runs into a big spine buster for a 2 count as well. But Lee knees out of a suplex, spin kicks, enziguri, and the cardiac kick gets the 1, 2, 3.
I've said this or versions of this for a little while now. Why am I watching yet again a wrestler who I loved try and pass a pointless and futile test? This is Bron Breakker working the 2003 Goldberg matches as babyface. Wes Lee trying to twist his offense into being something that a heel would do. I don't like it. It's not making the best. It's actively making one of my favourites from this show worse, and the perception of him worse. I don't care what you've got to prep them for when they're in WWE and things can change, and who knows what kind of TV match you have. Maybe you want a wacky heel for the house show, and Wesley's like, yeah, I can do that. I've been a heel on TV for a year. Like, there's always going to be other times for this. I don't want to see some of your top talent be made to jump through these hoops. And I'm just watching it. Where the promo backstage made me feel the same. Like, cocky little like, then you get to the ring and it's like, flippy guy that can't really figure out toning it down. I hate it. It's a process that they have and I don't like it.
It was a long time ago when I watched this. And I've got nothing to say. I say the same. It's a terrible, terrible TV show.
Just a bad week. There's always next week.
Thank you.
No. It's been bad for quite some time, and you need to stop bargaining with its quality. It's so bad now, NXT. It's a different strain of bad. we haven't come up with like a wacky new character for it. Have you noticed how this the walls of this world that we erected lovingly about this show, it's all come crumbling down. Brick ass and crowbar. Are you out of your f***ing mind, crowbar? Yeah. That was good. But when was the last time we did like what's going to be the wacky gimmick of the week? Or don't really do that kind of stuff anymore because it doesn't sort of like elicit that kind of bollocks anymore.
Champagne wishes and caviar dreams of the week.
Yeah, it's a game, not a character or a dumbass story development. You know, it's lost its so bad it's goodness. NXT.
Is this because the two crazy kids have finally got it together? You've got nothing to look forward to.
This happens in TV shows, doesn't it, when they pay that off?
Anyway, post-match, Wes Lee gets a mic and says, so much for championship material. And he says he's going to take care of Trick Williams next week. Here comes Trick Williams, who takes out Wes Lee's heavies, gets to the ring, sends Wes to the floor, and accepts the challenge for Atlanta next week. Also barges past Dion Lennox, who doesn't seem too pleased about that.
Centre stage next week, Sidge. We like that.
Yes!
Bit of me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to look like Saturday night, is it?
No. But NXT look good. Like,
it's still
nice,
well,
yeah, this Trick Williams character, fine. It looks like they're going to drag out Trick and Oba, and they're going to make Trick sort of this guy that is actually reflecting on his mistakes. The character feels real. He's going to start getting a bit meaner, and without turning heel, just get serious. Maybe feels like he lost his way.
Going to be in the Rumble.
Yeah, why not?
He's in the Rumble?
Trick's going to be in the Rumble.
I thought you were talking about the man with the glasses. His name
Dion Lennox.
Yes.
No, don't think so.
No, probably not. He got a bit of play, Dion Lennox.
Yeah.
I do like the idea that he doesn't understand what contact lenses are. That's an all right character.
He's not got to the page on contact lenses in his book yet. It's a dictionary, but he's not to see.
He's still on the end of it. Yeah.
He's still on B.
Dictionary man.
We got
there you go, got a new character.
Yeah, it's not the best one, is it?
He was speaking at first.
Theosaurus.
Very good.
That's good.
Like a very overly verbose professional wrestler who will say words and synonyms and synonyms and synonyms of words as threats to his opponents. They're too thick to get it.
I love that.
You're back. You see, I knew you'd come back.
Like 2008 Chris Jericho.
It sounds like you on Twitter, man. You've got all the words and you can kill all your enemies with them.
Yeah.
Theosaurus.
This is your character.
Theosaurus.
You do make like a dinosaur noise, but it's a bigger word that we don't know. So it's raw, but it is a really cool word.
What? How can I do raw as a word?
I don't know. You're Theosaurus. I'm not.
Oh, girl, Theosaurus.
Theosaurus.
I think I'm winning you over on this show.
I think we'll play it next week.
Okay.
Theosaurus's word of the day.
Theosaurus and dictionary.
Dictionary. Yeah. and they're all pal Al. You can call me Al. Alphabet.
Press the button. I want to happen.
Sorry,
and we're back, baby.
Introduce us to the three characters again, saving the obvious.
Theosaurus, Dictionary, and you can call him Al. Alphabet. And then I hate the show so much and what it makes me do.
That's Dion Lennox's trainers, and that
I'm trying to build a bridge to your heart.
Thank you.
In order to do that, you'd have to be some kind of, tradesman.
Building,
of course.
Or Archie. Architect. See, I've got them.
Alexis King.
You know what Wilbourn would do if he was trying to get us in both directions? He played for both teams, I hope. He would be building Michael Bridges. With Sunderland and Newcastle, is that? And we're called Michael.
And Leeds.
Yeah. Kind of the best of Leeds, frustratingly.
Oh, Leeds.
Don't know what that was.
Partridge.
Yeah.
I
don't like
gas. I just got drag.
Anyway, there's Alexis King vignette ahead of his Heritage Cup defence.
Leans off that, Rose.
With William Regal.
Was it ever in bloom?
William Regal helping him win. Charlie Dempsey fires back, saying having Lexis King's name on the cup is a disgrace. King says his cheap shot was an accident, of course, but he's gonna win it back. Basically, says Charlie. But before that, we had an interview with Stephanie Vaquer. Sarah asks her about losing last week. She says she's not going to stop because Fallon's playing about with her opportunities, and Shotzi benefited from that. Look, if Shotzi wins the title, she'll meet hell, and Fallon, you can run, but you can't hide. Love Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, it's preposterous that she's not got the shot if you map out just the simple steps of what happened last week, but they've built a nice chase in here where she eventually gets that belt.
Yeah.
So it's good.
And then it was time.
It's passable.
It's a thing. It's a thing that happened. Yeah.
Then it was time for the Heritage Cup. Good old-fashioned rules on this one. Lexis King versus Charlie Dempsey with the Ren QCC there at ringside. Lexis King gets saved by the bell effectively in the first round. He's caught in a cross-faced chicken wing, but the time runs out. In between rounds, we look in his... There's some knocks in my bucket, dear Lexis, dear Lexis. Lexis King has some brass knucks in his corner bucket. We come back from the break. It's 1-0. Round 2 was won by Lexis King, who basically countered a sunset flip by just sitting down and getting the pinfall victory. Dempsey
volunteered his legs.
Yeah. Not exactly Bulldog Brett was it?
No, he volunteered his legs.
Dempsey brings it back to 1-1 in round 3, pinning him via a butterfly suplex. Again,
I didn't buy that Lexis King was out for the count.
No.
Again, in between rounds.
Did you?
No.
You just laid there.
Needed this. Oh, God, he's counted 3.
Lexis, again, thinks about using the brass knucks, but thinks better of it. Puts him down, shakes his head. Dempsey goes after his arm, gets suplexed around for his efforts, but gets dominated by Charlie Dempsey again. But then he fires up, and there's a bit where he hits a flip dive onto all members of the Ren QCC. They go back in. The referee almost gets shoved into the corner. And as that's happening, the referee can't see this, obviously. There's a mule kick to the cock by Lexis King, who hits the coronation and gets the deciding pinfall.
I'm of the understanding, I don't think I've really seen any of them, certainly not the big hits, that Netflix hasn't got the best reputation for making good films, like the Netflix exclusive ones. They're not so hot.
It's a mixed bag, I think it's fair to say, yeah.
Yeah, no, not very good.
Whatever the absolute low bar is, this match is now the worst thing on Netflix. Like, this was criminally dull. Like,
I'm not as big of a fan of the Heritage Cup as I used to be.
No, funny that. We used
to say it was the biggest prize in wrestling.
Yeah, physically, obviously.
I didn't like looking at this. Like, Charlie Dempsey's matte orange trunks gave me the creeps. It was badly worked. For large portions of the match, badly worked. Not believable in any way, and a worse version of a bad match that we've already seen. What could anybody possibly get out of this? And the Lexis King character development that did ultimately reveal all of the other stuff to be a big lie, and he's sleazier than ever, and it's like, yeah, but you were already there.
Is he sleazier than ever, or was it like...
This was a mule kick.
Yeah, no, I know you kicked him in the cock, mate. I saw it with my own eyes. But I'm saying, did he resort to it, or was it some cunning master plan?
I think
they tried to sell it as if, well, I'm ergo I cheat.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the old head tapper. I'm a clever boy. It was I'm absolutely atrocious at my craft. Ergo, I'll take a shortcut.
Get the funny beard and the moving chair back.
Yeah,
go back to where we were.
I missed the moving chair. Bianca Belair
as per usual. Missed that.
Yeah. I think about how, like, when we say collision and as per usual, it sort of feels impossible to write down.
Yeah.
I feel like on Twitter I've seen somebody say as per usual, but I can't work out.
I mean, it's why. That's usual.
Yeah. Usual.
But they call it Nuge. And it's NOOJ, so YOOJ.
Nice.
As per usual.
That's why you're dictionary.
I'm Theosaurus.
Or are you both? never been seen in the same room, which is difficult.
Shut up.
I think it's one thing.
Of the wrestling
Theosaurus isn't ready to
So-
face you.
So I can go home. Got a really busy night ahead of us. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights are like absolute non-stop city.
What's your Wednesday?
So I'm not even doing an activity, but it's just so Monday night's kids soccer practice.
Yeah.
And Tuesday it's always like, right, make a meal from scratch, hang up some washing, tidy all that up, and it's when we've got the kids from after school clubs who have to make their tea and our tea, and it's just pretty relentless. And tonight you've got all of that, and then you've got to fill in the book diaries just to get homework.
Yeah.
They're 9 and 6. Why do they get homework?
Reading diary since year 1 and little maths.
Yeah.
Quiz sheets and stuff. It's pretty full on that.
Try us tonight.
But not before swimming. I hate swimming. One day the kids might watch this, and I've loved watching you two learn to swim, become good at swimming. Gala level in some cases. Very proud of both of you, Charlie and Joshua. I love getting to see you guys flourish in an environment in one of the most miserable hours of my week.
Why don't you go on the slides or something whilst they're doing that?
You me? Like...
The slides at yours.
Nah. It's a shoot pool rather than a working pool. You know, they're just there to it's just lanes and lanes of swimming and swimming. Some kids are better swimmers than others. Some kids are being prepped for galas and competitions, whatever. Different lanes, different skills, different needs.
Galas.
Yeah, swimming galas.
Free from desire.
I hate the parents. They're all talking about loft extensions like it's interesting. It's like nobody wants to talk about wrestling. No. Not a soul. Not a soul.
What a mark.
Or sometimes you're not even allowed to get your phone out.
No.
Which is bullshit. Let me tell you, for an hour.
You want to take the pictures of the kids or something?
No, I want to just look at anything on my phone or listen to podcasts or do anything that isn't having to just
covert camera
swimming. Sometimes...
You guys need surreptitious, nice Raycon earbuds. That's what you need.
This is it. Sometimes, Adele likes Stacks. So sometimes we'll watch Stacks and we'll have a bit of a pop, and then you can kind of see that the other parents are judging you a little bit, because they're all just miserable f***ers, who are trying to fill their life with boring and they make you listen to it because it's all braggy, they're not having a conversation about it's a bloody nightmare, everything's a humble brag, really, but they're just dressing it up in how difficult their busy and cool lives are. It's not cool, it's fucking dull. Just admit how dull and this is, but nobody can, and that's what I miss from it, is there's no catharsis. You sit on one of those PE benches, the low to the ground ones, with the little...
I'll be lucky to get home at this rate.
Sorry. The little nipples at the end. You remember them from school?
I remember them. Oh, yeah.
What a loser.
I've seen breasts. Where's it? Bags of sand.
Oh, yeah. I know nipples on tits. It's rubbish. Swimming is the worst.
Not for me, I like it.
I like it.
I don't take them swimming. The football trainer have developed a rapport with some of the parents, but they know when to talk and when not to talk. Polite conversation. Oh, Newcastle were crap at the weekend. Yeah, the sure were, and that sucked, and here's why. Why did you think? Blah, 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 blah. And then it's just this establishment. We're not mates. We're being polite. If a decent bit of conversation pops off, oh, that's good. This is nice. And if it doesn't, no one forces it. Good group.
Mine's just a bad group. I avoid the rapport. I listen to the rapport going on. I wish.
But I say you can go on your phone as well, so people just do that. I'm allowed on my phone, mate. I'm getting that sweet.
That's it. I just need that sweet phone.
That sweet X. It's that sweet
Mr. Sidgwick, no!
That's all good stuff.
I really like the idea that someone from your swimming hamlet watches this podcast and is going to give you a proper stink eye tonight.
I hope they are, Nicholas. Let's have a chat tonight, for sake. Give me something, anything, other than your boring lives.
Who's going to win the Rumble, eh?
Yeah. Oh, God.
He just cannonballs into the pool in excitement.
Yay! I think CM Punk too. Shirt off.
Shirt off. 20 quid to the parent who pushes Hamflett in tonight. Fully clothed.
Bianca Belair and Naomi are, backstage here to talk about Lash Legend Jakara Jackson, number one contenders, of course. They bring their size and athleticism, but no one does it better than them. Naomi, don't trust you. Bianca tells them to bring that and more if they want to win next week. And then came one of my favourite moments of the show. Hank and Tank, our boys, are chatting with Andre Chase. They said they're not mad at him for walking out a few years ago. Chase goes, I'll just break up. All tag teams do. They do. Kalani John walks past. Everything all right? And Andre Chase walks over where some of the NXT lot are watching like classic reruns of Chase U with him effing
Why
and Jensen.
would they be doing that?
How they found that?
That's what I do. That's how I spend my lunch breaks. And
No, we know for a fact it isn't.
Kale Dixon
So why would you lie to the listeners?
says, "You're a total badass, Mr. Chase." And Chase says, "Well, I was one, but now Chase U's dead," and he stumbles off. And
Oh my God.
No.
Kale Dixon says, "It doesn't have to be. So you're telling me there's a chance?"
I don't think I want it to be a chance.
I love Andre Chase so much as a character. I can't
Yeah.
wait to see what he does every week.
He's
a bit
doing-
mopey at the moment, but I'm confident.
I like the idea of it progressing and he gets like more stubble and more disheveled and all the rest of it.
Like broke Corbin or whatever it was. Yeah.
It's made me realise how much I miss Duke and Thea. Their comebacks are interesting to me. Like they're
It might not be a comeback, you stupid slut. Have you ever seen the actual? You've seen the meme, obviously.
Yeah.
Have you seen the clip?
You want to hope people have.
It's a meme. People know.
Because
Because
people say
everybody's saying it.
Everybody's saying
because
Everybody.
I think she's American, but then she says slut, right? And you know the same way as when Mae Young called him
Yeah.
slut. And she sounds a little bit Geordie as well at the same time. It's just this weird pronunciation of slut. It's not going to be. It's not going to be a swimming pool, you stupid slut. Stupid slut.
Thinking of that, mate.
Slut.
Why was I doing a Mae Young impression yesterday? I can't remember. I remember walking around the house just like closing all the curtains, closing time, and then doing a Mae Young impression for some reason. I can't remember. I can't remember why I did that. Yeah.
You're not just doing generic old woman. And
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it's evolved into.
How would you be walking to
Yeah,
the
I was
office
walking-
like me? Sorry, what were you walking like?
I can't remember what I was even doing.
Oh, I was in the breakout area I'm at dinner earlier. I was just, I have such a I was like, so basically, I probably should just go into the break room.
I
and
like
not,
your
and not the little thoroughfare. But it's like it's a really comfortable chair. I'm gonna put my feet on like the table, and it's for an hour. I could be doing something so much more productive. I was watching Instagram reels for an
I
hour.
get like, and I'm like, oh, is everything right at home? And it's always like, Michael Sidgwick can send you a reel. And I'm like, I'll save that for later.
Yeah.
Lunch on your own to go on your phone.
Yeah, it's great. So I just do that. And then some parcels got delivered, right? And they weren't particularly, why are you laughing so much? And they weren't particularly heavy. But I wanted a little bit of time to myself, right? So I wanted to just escape into some short nonsense for my dumbass brain. Just enter just a total zone of just nothingness. It's so easy. Just ensconced in that comfortable chair, and there's some like really light boxes, and Wilbourn goes, he starts doing a mime routine, and it goes on for ages. And the more that I kind of go, oh, yeah, good, the more I kind of like express. Not contempt, but just a little. He goes, he's chasing that pop, and he's chasing that pop, and he's chasing it, Oh, bloody hell. Then he picks two up at once, and he goes, oh, just kidding. And I'm like, and eventually he gets his laugh. So I'm on my phone, you dick.
I forgot about that.
Just kidding. That's how you got it.
Struggling to the table with him. I was like, hey, easy. Spun one on my finger, didn't I?
Yeah. It's good. It's all good. It's all good stuff.
It was the best part of my day. I was like,
You got a pop.
Toby Maguire.
Toby Maguire.
Oh, God.
I've been mad to work here. You know. Anyway, Karmen Petrovic versus Jaida Parker. The two lovebirds.
Oh my god.
Shanti the Adonis and Karmen Petrovic work out arm in arm.
Just the idea of him like 1 million, you're not even playing 1-0. They're like,
You probably got them when they arrived. You know already. What do you say? You're probably the one. You're always the one who's good and goes and answers the door. So you probably know already that they're not heavy. You're not exactly getting worked by it. I collected them, Adam.
Yeah. It's the same stuff that gets sent every week.
Yeah.
oh, Christ.
Anyway, Jaida Parker dominates this match. It's a teardrop in the corner. Sets up for the finish. But Kalani Jordan shows up, goes to slap Jaida Parker, but Parker blocks it. Referee just watches this happen, by the way, and Petrovic rolls her
I
up.
just watched it happen.
Gets the 1, 2, 3, and celebrates with her other half.
Yeah, we're all just watching it happen, aren't we?
I can't remember nout.
Nah.
Can you remember anything?
Nothing to this. Nothing. I like Jaida Parker's a good run of it. There was nothing to this.
Who am I?
I can't remember a thing.
Those two crazy kids getting together at the very end. She jumps into Shanti the Adonis' arms.
That's
It's like,
awesome.
sex later, probably. Like, that's their vibe.
Save that for Vengeance Day.
Yeah. Life sex celebration.
Lash and Jakara are in the locker room. They see Sol and Zarya. Hear about next week. How big our match is. Sorry. They're going to win the titles, bring them back to NXT. They're going to step in the ring with 2 former world champions. Even if they are 2 of the best, her and Lash are going to try their best and bring the titles back to NXT, as I say. At which point, Tatum and Gigi go, I hear you talking about titles. Creep them out. Creep them out, don't they?
I'll say this for Tatum and Gigi being like ultra creepy. At least they know how to be in one of these terribly scripted segments, as opposed to like sort of Valley Girl Zarya. Just like a monster from the Australian flats. Come on, guys, leave it. Yeah, it's not worth it.
Leave it.
Full gimmick. Hanging out with Sol Ruka. Probably go surfing.
Yeah. Love to see it.
Why?
Funny. Then it was time for a close friend of ours, Stax, team with Luca Crucifino.
You do him. I don't know what that was. Did you get a little bit frightened watching last night's show? Some cracks appearing in the old
Yeah.
in the old family.
Well, they were exploring that a little while ago, and then I thought it was all smoothed over, but
Nothing ever lasts forever.
They took on Brooks Jensen and the wild card Niko Vance, of course. Big brawl to start. Stax gets hip tossed over the top onto both of them. But the baddies come back, suplexing Luca Crucifino for 2.
What a look he's got these days.
yeah.
I thought Stax looked really good in there as well. A nice hot tag. Takes out both of them. There's a leaping kick to Brooks. Splash in the corner. Brooks puts him in a sleeper. Niko charges him, but Stax gets the foots up, hits a drop kick on both of them. Niko then runs at Stax, but Luca hits a super kick, and then Brooks takes him out over the top, and Niko pounces him into the ring steps. And unfortunately, that means that Stax is isolated. He gets hit with a somersault kick from Brooks Jensen and a huge lariat. He flips over when Niko Vance hits it.
What's Sean Spears doing with his arms?
You are witnessing his master plan play out. He's cradled another master plan.
But yeah, great showing, but unfortunately a loss for the family here.
I don't wish to come across as biased because he's a friend of ours, but Stax has always been a good tag wrestler and
Lively.
Yeah, I don't know what there is in singles for Stax, but always good in tags, and that's now extended from Tony D to sort of helping elevate Luca Crusifino a bit. He did have a bit of a standout week this week, and he's just been that guy for the longest time, and then you noticed him a bit more this week, and I genuinely think that's from tagging with Stacks. Like, seems to be one of those guys that had good chemistry with everybody tags with, and moves right, the total opposite to the Ridge Holland problem from the opener, Stacks.
Yeah, it's lively, got a bit of spring,
More on the family in a second, though. Before that, Sarah's there with the tag champions, those being Axiom. In 19 Fraser.
When I'm cleaning windows.
Talking about TNA Genesis and then their title defense. They've already had regular title defenses, and of course they've got one tonight. No, yes. What day is it? Thursday. On Thursday, they are going to have a title defense on TNA, on Impact. They talk about being the best tag team on the planet.
One of your favourite promotions. You should know what time the weekly's on.
Sorry, yeah.
We'll talk about that on our TNA preview. Just kidding, we'll never preview that. Made that mistake once, and Kenny was on it. I'll do that again. I'd like my 1 hour, 55 minutes back, please.
Briggs and Inamura come in. They're not happy about another title defense for the tag champs. They said, we thought we had next. And Nathan Fraser says, who'd you ever beat, amigo? And OTM coming in and kicked the crap out of him.
Yeah. Any sort of sequence and law here with Brooks winning the last match and Briggs coming in for the next one? 2 new partner teams coming together to become number 1 contenders, whoever wins that.
Don't encourage him.
They've got to be looking on at Fallon and thinking she's got a belt. Where have we gone wrong?
Why are you doing this to me and to him?
I'm just thinking about people I care about in the show when they ever had something I was interested in.
Those days are dead.
I know.
We cut backstage, and Izzy Dame is chatting with the Don, saying, I think Sean Spears has got a bloody crush on me, or he's delusional, or he's bothering me all the time. And Tony says, oh, listen, we can go on and on, but I got places to be. And Izzy apologises, but says, look, glad we're even now. And Tony walks up to the rest of the family, confronted by them, selling their injuries from the match or whatever. And the Riz says, hey, Don, where were you out there? And Tony says, oh, look, I was trying to get out there, but Izzy kept talking. What do you want me to do?
What's Izzy Dame thing?
Exactly. We'll have to save that for the preview next week. I don't know. Last week, I think they alluded to her saying, we're even now.
Mm-hmm. Now they're even.
Yeah. Her and the Riz have had some stuff before as well. Partridge shrug. What do you want me to do? How do you fellas go? And Luca says, we lost. Stacks says, yeah, we were waiting for you to come out, boss. We started to worry about you.
It's diabolical.
Spears is out there with his guys. Tony says, oh, I'm fine, okay. I was trying, but he talking. What do you want me to do? Stacks says,
Stacks, who's that?
Sticks is. Gee, we needed you. Tony says, oh, Stacks, you've been the underboss for 2 years, okay? You can figure it out on your own. And he leaves. What the hell does that mean?
I'll give you love. I was trying to do that in like a family accent. Didn't work, but he takes some swings. Sometimes you don't hit them all every time. The family are breaking up.
Don't say this to me.
Well, I'm going to say it to you. Twice. The family are breaking up.
I'm real scared, Sidge.
Man, I don't want this to happen to you.
Watching the segment, were you not sort of struck by how unprofessional it is when somebody just leaves their post?
Yeah.
I know.
Come back, you're still working this shift. You cannot just get up and go.
Oh, God, I've got to take this.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
There's no ring. There's no illumination. There's no vibrate.
I've got him on like just don't want to disturb us, but I can see he's ringing me now.
Who is it?
It's Henry Mark, my friend.
Yeah.
He probably, because I told you he's jacked, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. He rings me between sets, so I have to take it now because otherwise
between sets,
right. At the gym, and if I don't take it now, like I'll never know when I'll get to chat to him again. Because
just text him.
He's hoping to come
WhatsApp.
to
next Wednesday, probably.
It must be important, maybe. I think he's wanting to come to Sweet Chin Disco. He's family from from Holland actually. So
Netherlands.
You shouldn't take the mickey out of that. I gotta take this. He wants tickets to Sweet Chin Disco, which are available.
Sweet Chin Disco.
For our tours. And it is Glasgow.
Dancing
and,
music, the whole
Belfast,
bit.
So just before you go in to clarify, for anybody who's coming to Sweet Chin Disco,
yes.
Henry Mark will be there for you to introduce, yeah?
Hopefully, if I can get it sorted for him, I better check this show and you talk.
Just told us not to do that.
No,
It's still ringing.
You ring again. Please pick up this, James. I will go and answer it now, and you talk more about the end of the bloody family or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Hello, Henry. Yeah.
What do we think about his new friend, Henry Mark?
Other
than him calling it.
I still think he's having an affair.
Okay.
It's nonsense. I'm not buying any of this.
He's just rushed in at the first name he can think of.
Or is he having an affair with Henry Mark?
Yeah.
Potentially. Ultimately, I don't know. Hamflett, what do you think about the imminent breakup of the family?
Sad about it, genuinely.
Oh,
here's Stacks.
How's it going, guys? Looks like you didn't need me as a referee, huh?
No.
Especially in this old referee's outfit.
Yeah, it's not.
How's it going, guys?
All right.
Can't complain.
How are
really.
you, Stacks?
Mixed emotions. Tony kept the title, obviously.
Oh, bad emotions, really. Oh, yeah.
But family will always stay together, so.
Yeah. Sure.
No.
Sure it will.
Sure, I'm sure it will.
That Rich Holland sucks, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I hear he used to have a career in rugby. What's the deal with rugby, Sidge?
Rugby, it's a sport that is popular all around the world, not necessarily the United States. You've got a kind of a version of it. Basically, you know what American football is, yes? Until you asked me in about 4 months what it is. American football, or just simply football, if you're from the States, it's called football, but you play it with your hands. Americans are just pretty dumb sometimes. Right? Well, they are. You've seen the state of it.
The States.
You've seen the states of it. It's not called the United Good Things of America. It's called the United States of America, isn't it? So basically, rugby is a game. It's a team game. The objective of which is to get the ball, which is shaped like an American football, like it's an egg chasers, to the opposite end of the pitch via try or penalty kick. But the thing is, and how does this work? We had, God bless her, a business studies teacher who called it works experiences. So we had to basically just put the word works where work, I works all day, I works all night, that kind of stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. She was actually really quite nice.
All I'm saying.
Well, I was saying, I works hard. This is the thank I get.
It's my genetic.
Yeah. How does this work, Stacks? How does this work, Stack? You have to get the ball, passing it, kicking it, but then the other team usually gets it. So predominantly through passing it, you have to get this ball to the other side of the pitch, but you can only pass it backwards.
What?
Mm-hmm. So how does that work? Tune in.
Put you in the pocket?
Not allowed in stupid rugby.
Tune into rugby union or rugby league. The differences between which I don't know. To find out, it's a dying sport. I think.
Yeah.
You know, it has its audience.
Niche compared to a lot of sports. So.
Yeah.
Parochial rugby league, kind of centered mostly around the Pennines areas, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's bigger than it is.
Correct. Never been a fan. We were ordered to play it at school when I was in year 8. I think they soon realised the kids just want to play football and it shuts them up, and that's what school's all about. It's shutting kids up. So it's easy to shut them up with football, but when we played rugby in those cold winter months, I just used to stand on that wing and do absolutely nothing until the one person who was into it, David Lowe's, it's like, Sidgwick soft as shit. Just steamroll through him and we'll get all the tries. I was like, what?
Try.
You don't have to tackle us on the way. I don't have the ball. I don't want the ball. But that's rugby, Stack.
Thanks, Iggy. You know, actually, a friend of mine once offered to introduce me to a world-class hooker. And I got to say, I was a bit disappointed when it was a friend of his from the rugby team, huh? 3 questions, 3 jokes for you. Not now, obviously, engaged and all that. Siggy, question joke number 1. Other than piss, what is a rugby player's favorite drink? Huh?
Right. So, try.
Try.
Cup of try. I'm not saying that's I'm just getting some stuff out there. You know.
Cup of the old
Try latte.
Like chai latte.
Yeah.
Nah. That's good, but it's not right.
Trizer. Like Tizer.
I don't think Stacks would know what Tizer is. Tizer's a sody pop.
Try and brew. Also a sody pop.
That's good, but it's not right. Well, other than try, Scrum.
Yeah. Scrum and Coke.
Scrum and Coke.
Yeah.
Good night, right?
Ah.
All good guesses, actually. But other than piss, what's a rugby player's favorite drink? Penalty.
Rubbish.
Question joke number 2. Hamflett, which Star Wars character is best at rugby? Huh?
Yoda Lomu. No, I'm not. I'm just. yeah.
Goddamn good, Sidgwick.
Yeah.
Good.
Yoda Lomu.
What other Star Wars characters are there?
How long have you got?
Luke Skywalker. Princess Leia. What's the fat thing called? Jabba the Hutt. Anything in that?
There's Jabba the Hutt. There's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right, you got scrum, tackle, fly half. I don't know much more about rugby.
Darth Vader.
I'll Yoda Lomu.
Yoda Lomu.
Yoda
Good
Lomu.
night, right? Which Star Wars character is best at rugby? Darth Maul. Maul's in rugby. I'd have also accepted Luke Skywalker.
Okay. Bad news, good news. The bad news is that this might be your worst collection of jokes yet, Stacks. The good news is that I can tell them all to my son.
Tell him this one. How is a game of rugby like a night with me in the bedroom, huh?
Night with me in the bedroom.
I mean, tackles his dick and balls.
Yeah, something about trying, but not succeeding to get hard
Tackle
or something
gets
like
in the
that.
way.
Yeah, he fails to achieve an erection. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Yeah. Try. Springboks. Is that Springboks? Is that rugby?
That's something. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that anything?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Stacks.
How's a game of rugby, sorry, a bit like a night with me in the bedroom? 15 positions, no protection, odd-shaped balls, a nice ruck, and I scrum inside you. See you later, guys.
Well, I don't think we were going to get that. I don't think we were going to get that.
No.
Bye, Stacks.
Oh.
Bye, mate. Yeah. I'll speak to you later. Cheers. Yeah, I'll speak to you tomorrow, actually. Bye. Sorry, I got confused. That was Mark Henry, actually.
Oh.
Not, I got the names.
On the
What
phone.
Mark Henry want?
You can do an interview tomorrow. So you'll be able to listen to that and watch that very soon. And if you've got any questions for him, send them to me on X at WhatCulture WWE or at Adam Wilbourn.
I got a question.
Yeah,
you
he is
ask
going to
him-
be at Sweet Street Disco.
Yes, can you ask him what he thinks he's doing calling you in the middle of a podcast, please?
Yeah, sorry, I think it's just, time zones and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Just didn't realise.
We're awake.
Maybe you give him a ring during the next Busted Open, eh? See how he likes it.
Yeah.
What are you up to on NXT?
We're kind of just talking family stuff. Stacks popped in,
Stacks.
so we had more
How is
family
he?
talk with him. Not great, as you can imagine. Selling.
Said he had a hurt neck and
Yeah.
he doesn't. He says he's happy for Tony D, but he seemed a little bit off his game. His jokes.
Yeah, it must be selling.
Got there in the end. He got there in the end.
Like odd considering it's Super Bowl season that he's taking an interest in rugby all of a sudden.
Well, maybe, Super Bowl a couple of weekends away. Maybe
Yeah.
want to talk about that
Put a pin in that one,
at
eh?
the time.
Yo, taking that call in the wind.
Yeah, I went
that's all
outside.
right.
I didn't want to be rude and, taking the
It's not
office.
windy.
Everyone hear it. Huh? No, someone ran past and was like, hey, Wilbourn.
Did you get recognised in the street? Did you?
No, just some nutter, I think.
So how do they know your name? How do they know your name?
I think they say it to everyone, so just their like catchphrase or something. I don't know.
All their life they've been looking for you with a catchphrase.
What are the chances? We get a recap of Ethan Page injury.
You deck them for that because that's adjacent to getting hit the back of the head,
it's
getting your hair
close.
ruffled and going,
That's why if we weren't running,
Yeah.
and I was like, on the phone. Sorry, Mark. Oh. See you later. Ethan Page.
I hope you've learned your lesson.
Yeah. Injuring Dante Chen. Talking about.
Do you even know what your lesson is?
What's that?
Why do you say yeah?
I just say yeah.
Don't answer the phone in the middle of a podcast.
Oh, yes, that's
and
it.
you won't get your hair ruffled by someone whose catchphrase is also your surname.
It's a tale as old as time, if anything.
It's about time
epidemic.
it's about time you learned that lesson.
It's been happening to everybody in Gateshead.
You never had a game of Eddie Wilbourn before?
Was that the sequel to Hey Arnold?
It's the knock-a-door run of people's hair.
Hey, Wilbourn.
Everyone's playing it.
I kind of came up with it, to be honest.
It's going viral on Twitter. You ain't Wilbourn anybody yet.
I said it to you a while ago. You've been Wilbourn for something. I can't remember.
Guys, if you hear Wilbourn's your partner, let us know.
Jesus.
Right. We see footage or a recap of Ethan Page injuring Dante Chen, saying how he didn't want to do it, but he was riding high after his moment with the final boss. Dante wanted to stand on a moral high ground, but he can't stand at all now. He said, I'd never thought I'd enjoy the sound of human bones breaking and you screaming out in pain. Just like Cedric Alexander and Javon Evans. And he says, Javon, you must want to never speak normally again after trying to attack me last week. Chinned you, made you bleed again or whatever. It's your last warning. Next time I won't stop.
Oh God, he's worse than Edge.
Human bones.
Human bones breaking. He's worse than Edge. That's the worst thing I could say about anyone.
Yeah.
There's Matt Hardy, Ethan Page, Edge. Actually, that's Matt Hart. I don't like Ethan Page.
Ethan
very
Page can
much.
always relax on a roster with Sean Spears on. That's why. That's why he
Yeah.
can get away with this because there's always like Spears there.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Just like my neighbour.
Javon Evans is in Ava's office. She hasn't got the surname. She's general manager at NXT and The Rock's daughter, of course. And Evans is like, I want to match from Ethan Page. He's still got his jaw wide shut. That's why he says it like that. And Ava says, Ava says, your jaw's still broken. You're anything but cleared.
Your jaw's still broken. You're anything cleared.
But Cedric Alexander walks in.
Cedric's. Who's that? Who's Cedric Alexander is?
He's going to fight for them both basically next week against Ethan Page.
Yeah, good.
And Austin Theory and Grayson Bloody Waller walk in.
Oh my God! Just when you thought there were no more boring white f***ers left, here comes Austin Theory. Christ, what are we doing here?
Well,
Grayson Waller effect with the winner of the main event. That's what we're doing.
yeah.
Next week.
Austin Theory's secret weapon might have been revealed on Twitter today. He's gone a bit viral for having a really good Stone Cold impression.
Who is?
Oh, is that what
Austin
you were showing
Theory,
Andy
yeah,
earlier?
Kind of sounds like Stone Cold ET.
Well, if he's got that, could be the carrying cross
This is
path to
exactly
stardom,
that, isn't it? Yeah, maybe that's how he gets through it.
Before the main event, we see DDP sitting ringside.
Yep. Nice.
Good for him.
Love DDP. Yeah, just
I like him.
done nice stuff, hasn't he?
He's done some
Nice
good stuff. He's done some good stuff. So
And
it's
then
all good stuff.
the main event is for the NXT Championship.
Main
Oba
event
Femi
is not very good.
versus Eddy Thorpe.
Well, he won the match, so how was that bad? 100% success, if you ask me, Sid.
Will Apter.
He beat that rule breaker, so
I think you'll find a successful day at work.
that's what I call a good night for a fan favourite.
Femi dominates early on. Thorpe gets in some kicks.
Femi gone.
That's exactly what I was.
There's a bit where Thorpe kicks him, And Oba Femi just stares at him, hits him with a huge clothesline, launches him across the ring a couple of times. Gets sent to the outside. Oba follows, beating him up. But when Oba's on the apron, Eddy hangs him on the ropes and hits a big shot to knock him to the floor to take us to a break as Theory and Waller are watching from the Eagle's Nest, scouting their next interviewee, of course.
Scouting the next guest.
We come back from the break, and Oba Femi fires up. Hits a big spine buster, goes for a choke slam. Thorpe counters that with a triangle choke, though. Femi tries to power out, and Thorpe counters that with a nice Hurricane Rana for a 2. Hits Femi with a stunner and a big top rope elbow for another near fall. He gets a slingshot German suplex for another 2 count. But when he goes for another flying elbow, Femi blocks it. Big choke slam. Thorpe just kicks out of that. Femi posts himself on a mischarge, and then he just looks to be in trouble, and then just chucks Eddy Thorpe across the ring, hits the fall from grace, and retains the title. 1, 2, 3. Post-match, Oba Femi's looking at Waller and Theory, saying, you better have bloody good questions ready next week. Turns around to see Trick Williams there in the ring with him. There's a stare down. Eddy Thorpe tries to get in another cheap shot. This time, though, he gets hit with a trick shot, and the stare down continues as we go off the air this week.
This was weird and boring and deflating almost in its entirety.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so disappointing. Not disappointing. I had no expectations
I
of
had
this
no
match,
expectations either.
but it should have been short and to the point, and it was long and drab. So, like, a real misfire, this. The one element of it I liked, the one positive, is it was almost like the booking owning the thing that WWE does all the time, which is a monster, wouldn't you believe it? Always runs themselves into the post, and that's the one thing that Oba Femi can shake off. That was a nice moment of this guy is different gravy.
Different gravy.
Like, of all the spots, it's like sort of him standing up off a barricade exploding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, they can't take him out. So that was good. The rest, what are we doing here?
Why was he selling so much?
No, I know that's usually rhetorical. I would like an explanation as to what we were doing here.
Yeah, selling loads.
Yeah, too much.
Here's the thing. I knew it was going to be wonky when we were talking about it on the preview. Like, Oba Femi's situational babyface, and he's massive against Eddy Thorpe, who's not such a runt that it's cathartic to see that particular heel. It was a odd bit of booking, incredibly odd character developments leading to this match that gave Oba Femi too many contradictory things to do. I didn't envy him at all. Part of this sort of, even if he's not a fully fledged babyface, it can be a tweener, because he's the top guy and the champ. He's going to have competitive matches, and he's going to have to sell a bit, as opposed to get knocked off his feet towards the end of his matches as a heel, but then just kicks ass. And it's just this weird, this dissonance between how massive he is, what's been established about the character, and now watching him sell because he has to.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it. I did not buy what they were selling to me with Oba Femi last night.
It's the comparison goes beyond this particular example. It's Diesel grinning on the front of the WWE magazine when he's won the belt. He's that. He's not the cool guy I fall in love with last year. He's like smiling, baby kissing Diesel, and then having to sell as a big guy when he hasn't done en route to the top.
No.
Really frustrating. Watch this. I don't want to see Oba Femi booked like this again.
Just monstered him first title defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a trick here as well where we've seen him in a lot of triple threats, because it's like, I'm going to throw somebody onto somebody else, and then when I'm laying out, you almost don't notice I'm laying out because there's a match happening. So maybe that's been a little bit of a cheat code, and what we haven't seen is how to figure out this Oba Femi as defending champion thing, but not good.
Let us know your thoughts on that and the whole show in the comments section or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there. You can follow all 4 of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
follow Michael Sidgwick at
Sidgwick.
follow our producer Adam Nicholas at
It's Adam Nicholas.
and follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast from for daily wrestling podcasts. The Dynamite preview is available right now. But for now, it's been the NXT review. My thanks to Hamflett, to Sidgwick, to Stacks. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.